My ranch has been in my family for 4 generations. 312 acres of hardwood, pastureland, and rolling hills nestled just outside Kerrville, Texas. I run Grady Cattle Company, where we raise longhorns, real ones, not just for the look, but for quality beef and breeding stock. We keep things quiet, efficient, and respectful out here. So when a group of weekend warriors with rifles, camo, and zero sense of land boundaries ended up screaming and running from a herd of aggravated bulls, that was entirely the fault of one person, Karen Milburn, the new president of the Creekstone Ridge HOA next door. Karen moved in about a year ago, straight from suburban Austin. She didn't understand ranch life, didn't want to understand it, and seemed personally offended that my cattle dared to exist within eyeshot of her McMansion. She once complained to the sheriff about the unpleasant mooing sounds at sunrise. Another time she left a note in my mailbox demanding I do something about the manure smell. It's a cattle ranch, Karen. But things escalated this past October when she decided to grant hunting access to a group of HOA guests on my land. You see, Creekstone Ridge butts up against the western tree line of my ranch. The boundary is clearly marked with fences, posted signs, and GPS coordinates filed with the county. No confusion. But Karen, in her infinite wisdom, believed she had authority over an unutilized open parcel that she assumed was HOA property. In reality, that open parcel was Pasture 3, where I rotate my 4 most aggressive breeding bulls, Big Smoke, Diablo, Rusty, and One-Eyed Ted. So picture this, it's 6:45 a.m., the sun barely up. I'm out back checking water troughs when I hear a distant crack, 2 rifle shots. I freeze. No one is supposed to be shooting on my land. Deer season hasn't even started. I hop in my side-by-side and head toward the commotion, past the dry creek, around the north fence line. And that's when I see it. 5 men in full camo, rifles slung over shoulders, crossing inside my fence line, casually like they own the place. They're maybe 200 feet from the bulls. I start to yell, but it's too late. Big Smoke sees them first. Now, if you've never seen a 2,000-pound longhorn charge, it's not like in the movies. There's no dramatic pause, no warning snort, just an instant decision and a wall of muscle coming at you with 6-foot horns and 0 brakes. The entire herd charged. Karen's hunting guests lasted exactly 42 seconds before dropping everything and sprinting toward the fence. One guy screamed like a toddler at a haunted house. Another got tangled in mesquite trying to climb out, their fancy scoped rifles left behind in the grass. I pulled up just in time to stop the bulls from flattening the slowest one, some lawyer from San Antonio who tripped on his own bootlaces. I called the sheriff, and animal control just in case. Everyone showed up, including Karen, who had the gall to scold me for endangering visitors. "You're lucky no one was injured," she snapped, arms folded like she was still running a PDA meeting. I just stared. "Karen, you let armed strangers onto private property without permission. That's criminal trespassing and could have gotten someone killed." Sheriff Donnelly was less polite. He arrested 2 of the men for trespassing and illegal discharge of a firearm, confiscated their rifles, issued Karen a citation for aiding in unlawful access to private land, and warned that she could be held civilly liable for any injuries or damages. Turns out, the HOA never owned the land she thought they did, and her authorization was worth less than the paper it wasn't printed on. Over the next month, my lawyer filed a lawsuit for trespass and endangerment, naming Karen personally. The HOA's insurance refused to cover her, citing intentional misconduct. I installed a new perimeter fence with cameras and billed Karen for $14,800 in materials and labor. And the best part? One of the hunters tried to sue me for emotional trauma caused by livestock. It was thrown out in 30 minutes. The judge laughed, literally. Karen resigned from the HOA 2 weeks later. Her house, still for sale. As for Big Smoke and the boys, they got extra feed that night. Good bulls. Great security.